streaming? Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo. Namam Vishnu Padayo Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirbishesha Shunnapati Paschat Visatarine Jayo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. At first we shall look at the name of the chapter. It is Progressive Discipleship. Okay. All of you already know that today is the last class for this course, Spiritual Correction. There is 10 chapter in this book and we have already covered 9 chapters. Today we shall discuss about the 10th chapter and the last chapter. So today is the last class for this specific book, and at the next class we shall discuss about a very important character of Srimad Bhagavatam, King Ben. Okay, so at the next class we shall discuss about the character of King Ben, but today we shall discuss about the 10th chapter of this book. As an introduction of the 10th chapter, the author mentioned here the story of Maharaj Shantanu and his glorious son Devabrata, that is Bhishma. Most of us already known about the story. It is a very popular story. Maharaj Shantanu once went to a forest, and when he was crossing the river Yamuna with the help of a boat woman, Satyavati. Satyavati was very lucky and very fortunate woman because she got the blessing of Parasar Muni. And by that blessing, Satyavati, he possessed a fragrant aroma in his body, in her body. So when Shantanu was crossing the river Yamuna in the boat of Satyavati, Shantanu was very much charmed, very much attracted with that fragrant aroma of Satyavati. Actually, it was the destiny. Maharaj Shantanu proposed Satyavati that I want to marry you. And Satyavati was shy enough. He told Maharaj Shantanu, "Dear king, please go and meet my father and please put your proposal to my father." Shantanu, he was the king of the whole world then. Shantanu went to the father of the Satyavati, namely Dasaraj. Shantanu proposed Dasaraj that I want to marry your daughter Satyavati. But Dasaraj, he was the king of the fishermen. He put a specific condition to Maharaj Shantanu. What was the condition? He told that I shall agree with you only if you promised to me that the son of Satyavati will be the future king of your kingdom. Hearing this condition, Maharaj Shantanu was very much surprised. What is he saying? Already I have a son, Devabrata, and my son is very much qualified about the future kingdom. He is the fittest candidate to be the king of the whole world. Very honest, very powerful, and Devabrata was the very dear disciple of Parashuram. How can I deprive my dear son for marrying Satyavati? So, Maharaj Shantanu, he was not agreed with that proposal. And that fisherman, he then totally refused Maharaj Shantanu. When Shantanu returned back home, he was totally dejected, totally frustrated, and broken hearted. There is not a single sign of happiness in his face. Rather, he was looked a very morose person. His dear son Devabrata saw his father's face. Devabrata anticipated that there has been something wrong. Mm. He anticipated. He followed his father very diligently and asked very humbly to his father, "My dear father, please say me, what happened? I am seeing that you are not at all happy. You are with a great anxiety and you are looked to be greatly frustrated and dejected person. So please tell me, hmm, what is the cause behind it? I shall try to solve it." But due to the affection to his son, King Santanu did not say anything to his son. King Santanu just told that nothing happened. Don't worry about it. But being a very sincere son, Devabrata started his investigation. Devabrata met with the chariot driver of his father and he asked that chariot driver, "Please tell me what happened today? Why my father is so sorrowful?" Then that chariot driver, he explained the total fact, total phenomenon, what he realized. Hearing that fact, Devabrata told the chariot driver, "Please help me. Please go to that uh, king of fishermen and I will accompany you and I will meet that person. I want to talk with him directly." In this way, Devabrata went to that person. And on behalf of his father, Devabrata promised that person that I am promising that your daughter's son will be the king of my father's kingdom. I shall make the arrangement so that Satyavati's son will sit at the throne of my father's kingdom. I will never demand the throne. So now please be agreed with my father's proposal. But Dasaraj, he replied, no. Devabrata was very much surprised. What else do you desire? I have already promised that the throne will be the throne will be given to the son of the Satyavati. But you are still saying no. What is the cause? Then Dasaraj told that yes, you are promising not to sit on the throne, but in future it may happen that your son will demand for the throne, and your son may fight with the son of my daughter and may kill him and may sit on the throne. So how can you assure me that your son would not act like this? Then Satyavrata smiled. Sorry, Devabrata smiled. And Devabrata then took a very great vow, which is very, very famous in the whole world, in the whole universe. Devabrata promised that I will remain a celibate throughout my life. I'll never marry. Look, for a Kshatriya, this promise is very surprising because at that time, the king or the Kshatriya, they were supposed to marry more than one woman. Uh, In most of the cases, the king supposed to had many queens. So Devabrata promised not to marry a single lady. It was so surprising that when Devabrata promised like that, then all the demigods in the heaven, they were also uh, very much astonished with that promise. And a thunderous voice echoed from the sky. What was echoed? An announcement. What was that? From this day, the name of Devabrata will be Bhishma. For this terrible vow. In this way, Devabrata became Bhishma, and the king of the fishermen at least at last agreed with this proposal, and Shantanu got married with Satyavati. Here, the character of the Bhishma or Devabrata is like a first-class devotee. Devabrata was not ordered by his father. In fact, His father did not say anything to his son, but still Devabrata managed to read the mind of his father. This is the characteristic of a first class devotee. Before the Guru speaks, the devotee try to know what to do. Even before the Guru speaks, the first class disciple, he can he can read the thoughts of his Gurudev. So now the main chapter will be started. Progressive discipleship. What should be the ideal conduct of a disciple, and how the discipleship will be progressed. What is the type of discipleship, and so many things we shall discuss in today's class. At the starting of the chapter, the author depicted here different types of bhakti according to the level of consciousness, level of sincerity. Bhakti is categorized into different kinds. Some are mixed bhakti, like karma mishra bhakti, jnana mishra bhakti, yoga mishra bhakti. All those types of bhakti are mixed one. Mixed means they are performing devotional service, but behind that service there are some desire. For karma mishra bhakti, there are desire of some fruitive activities. For jnana mishra bhakti, there is desire for liberation. For yoga mishra bhakti, there is desire for some mystic power or siddhi, ashto siddhi, tonima, logima, etc. So if we have some desire behind our devotional service, it will be termed as mixed bhakti, mishra bhakti. It will not be the pure bhakti. It will not be termed as shuddha bhakti. In Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 kinds of pious men. Can you remember the verse? Anyone? 4 kinds of pious men. Govindo Priya Mataji. Please unmute.
Krishna Praviti Dandavat Pranam. Chaturvida bhajate mam jana shukritena Arjuna atmajikashu arthati gyani cha bharatarshava.
Excellent. Thank you. So Mataji chanted the verse very nicely. Chaturvidha bhajante mam. There are 4 kinds of pious men. Artho, Jiggasu, Artharthi, and Gyani. But there are no devotee in that 4 categories, because they have some desire behind their service. It is not termed as pure devotion. But they have begun to surrender to Krishna gradually. One day, they might be able to render pure devotional service. service has been started, and they would be improved gradually. When we start our devotional service, then we may have to face different crises, problems, and struggling, because we have to carry on our head the karmic reaction of life after life. Karmic reactions are stored there. So we have to carry the heavy weight of those karmic reactions. And due to those reactions, there may be some impediments, crises in front of our devotional progress. Then Krishna makes some arrangements. Krishna sends some representative whom we call as Guru, and Krishna empowered those representatives to absorb our karmic reactions, to make us free from those reactions. So, initiation is that process in which our karmic reactions are being transferred into the account of Guru. Guru actually make us free from our reaction so that we can freely render our devotional service. This is the kindness of Guru, and Krishna has made these arrangements. So, according to our sincerity, according to our dedication, we progress in our devotional service. If we want to be a pure devotee, then we have to have the knowledge about pure devotion. Likewise, if we want to purchase pure gold, then we must have knowledge about the purity of the gold. Otherwise, we would be cheated by the jewelry shop. So, if we have a desire to be a pure devotee, then we have to be cautious about the symptom of pure devotion. And we have to be cautious about different type of disciples so that we can improve our discipleship. So basically, there are 4 types of discipleship: first class, second class, third class, and fourth class. We have to judge ourselves on which category we belong to. So we shall describe one by one. First, first class disciple. Number 1. What are the symptoms and signs of first class disciple? First class disciple knows the heart of the Guru and do the needful without being told, without being instructed or demanded. Those are first class disciples. They don't wait for the instruction of Guru. When Guru used to think anything, then first class disciple, he came to know about that. And he at once performed that service. And Guru became surprised. How have you know the think of my mind? I was just thinking about this, and you have already performed that service. Guru becomes surprised seeing the devotion of those types of disciples. Those are first class disciples. Now the question may arise, how that disciple came to know the thought of his Gurudev? Was it by his anticipation, by his conjecture, or some mental speculation? No, that is not the cause. Then how shall we uh, make ourselves on that level of devotee? How shall I, or how shall we know about the thought of our Gurudev, about the mood of our Gurudev? Answer is that we have to follow Gurudev very minutely with rapt attention. We have to see the Gurudev, we have to hear Gurudev, we have to follow Gurudev with complete attention. And we have to think about Gurudev always, all time. We have to be in Guru consciousness. We have to meditate about the mood of Gurudev. So if we undergo in this way, then our super soul will be so pleased that by virtue of the mercy of the super soul, we shall be able to know even the thoughts of Gurudev. Then we shall be the first class disciple. It is not very easy, but very tough indeed. But this is the only way to be the first class. And the another characteristics of first class disciple, he is specially empowered by his Gurudev, and the disciple, that first class disciple, he has such a deep level of understanding about the mood of his Guru that they become eligible to make some adjustment about the instruction of his Gurudev. And one of the best example of first class disciple is Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was so absorbed in the thinking of his Guru that Srila Prabhupada got the full blessing of his Gurudev and Super Soul. And Prabhupada made some adjustment on the instruction of his Gurudev. What was those adjustments? Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Prabhupada instructed everyone to chant minimum 64 rounds a day. And it was the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. But Srila Prabhupada amended this order. This is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, that Our everyday target is minimum 16 rounds chanting, not 64 rounds. These adjustments was made by Srila Prabhupada. How Srila Prabhupada was able to edit even the order of his Gurudev? Because of Srila Prabhupada's deep relationship with his Gurudev. Srila Prabhupada made this adjustment. Also, Srila Prabhupada, being a Vaishnava sannyasi in western part of the world, Prabhupada was present in some wedding ceremony of his disciples. Before Srila Prabhupada, it was forbidden to any sannyasi to be present at the wedding ceremony. But Srila Prabhupada violated this custom also. Because the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they were Western people. They had no idea about the wedding ceremony, traditional Vedic wedding ceremony. So if Srila Prabhupada would not present at that ceremony, then who would taught those ignorant disciples about Vedic marriage ceremony? So for teaching his disciples, Srila Prabhupada was present in several wedding ceremony of his disciples. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada made some adjustment. Being the first class devotee, first class disciple of his Gurudev, he was able to make those adjustments. Now we shall consider about the second class disciple. Second class disciple has no power to feel the thinking of his Gurudev. Rather, second class disciple is told what to do. When Gurudev instructed him, he very happily and enthusiastically carry out the order of his Gurudev. And when the second class disciple carried out the order very nicely, then Gurudev becomes so pleased, and Gurudev empowered that devotee for progressing in devotional life. What is the example of second class disciples? Example is many thousands disciples of Srila Prabhupada. The disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they were so enthusiastic that they carried out every single instruction of Srila Prabhupada. They are so serious. As a result, Srila Prabhupada empowered those devotees. And now, what we are seeing, those disciples of Srila Prabhupada are now leading the ISKCON society. Now they became Gurudev or Sannyasi or GBC, etc. And practically they are now leading the whole ISKCON society. This is by virtue of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Now we shall discuss about the third class disciple. Those type of disciples neither have no idea about the thoughts of Gurudev, nor they are very much interested in carrying out the order of the Gurudev. Rather, those types of disciples require reminder again and again for carrying out the order. When Gurudev remind them again and again, then they may render that service. So, oftentimes, their service are offensive service. They commit some offense to Gurudev for not listening his order at the first time. And they have no idea about the mood of the Gurudev because they are not dedicated, not serious. Suppose Guru wants a glass of water from a disciple, and the disciple, having no idea about the mood of the Gurudev, thought that my Gurudev is wanting a glass of water. What is the cost of water? Rather, I shall provide with a glass of milk or glass of fruit juice. In this way, he actually violated the order of his Guru, and uh, as he is actually a nonsense, so he provide the Gurudev with some milk or some fruit juice or uh, some other thing. In this way, the third class devotee, they serve the Gurudev but offensively. And the remaining one is fourth class disciple. Fourth class disciple actually is not a disciple. He is a disciple in name only because he pays no attention to Guru's instruction. He has no seriousness, no sincerity, no dedication, nothing else. He has just took initiation as a fashion. And after the initiation over, he has no interest to carry forward the relationship, to know the mood of the Guru, and to sincerely practice the instruction of Gurudev. So fourth class discipleship is a disciple in name only, not actually a disciple. He is. Then what Guru will do with that type of disciple? Gurudev tries to rectify him, but he don't care. And by violating the instruction of Gurudev, that type of disciple already has disconnected himself with the parampara. So should the Gurudev drop the disciple from his list? What should the Guru do? We shall get the answer later at the last phase of today's class. Now we shall consider an analogy of three dolls. This is a story, and from that story we shall have some concrete idea about three types of disciples. Author told this nice story. A saint was on a pilgrimage tour with his disciples. And on that tour, the disciples requested the saint again and again, Gurudev, please tell us who is the most favorite disciple of you, whom you like very much. The saint told, everyone is equal to me. But the disciples, they were nagging again and again. Please, please share with us who is your most favorite disciple. Then the saint told the uh, analogy. He told that I had three small dolls. Three dolls. One doll was made of sugar, other made of cloth, and the last made of solid stone. So I had three dolls of sugar, cloth, and solid stone. And I was washing my hands in a river. I was a little bit unconscious. And for that reason, those dolls fell into the river. Now consider what happened with those dolls. The first doll was made of sugar. Then what will happen with that doll? We'll say, if a doll made with sugar is dropped into the water of a river, Shreyasi, Mataji, what will
Hare
be the
Krishna,
fate? Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, as I said, my humble obeisances, the sugar doll will dissolve in water.
Yeah. As the doll is made of sugar, it will be completely dissolved into the water. We cannot trace the single part of the doll. So that doll represents third class devotees. Why? What is the relationship with third class disciples with that doll? Saint is telling to his disciples, even a little temptation can completely change their faith and result into their falling back into the material energy. The water is compared here with temptation. In our long spiritual life, there might be some temptation, there might be some agitation, uh, there might be some accidents, very unfortunate facts in our family, very insultation, demotion, humiliation. We may have to face any uh, unwanted situation. And if we belong to third class disciple, then after crossing over those unwanted situations, we may leave this devotional path and go back to the hellish material life. This type of disciple is of third class. Now consider about the second class, that is the doll made of cloth. When a doll made of cloth dropped into water, what will happen? Who will say? Please raise your hand. Would it be dissolved into water? Govinda Priya Mataji, what will happen to it?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, no, it will not dissolve. It will be drowned into the water. Yep.
Okay. All of us are known about it. Cloth would not dissolve in water. This is not property. This is not the property of cloth. Rather, it will get wet and it will absorb some water, but it will not be melted or dissolved. So this is like second class disciple, slightly improved from the third class. Second class disciple can deal with illusions. It can fight with some unforeseen conspiracy or some unfortunate facts. But ignorance is still there. For in case of second class disciple, there may be some ignorance, there may be some madness, but he is trying to come out of those ignorance. So there is a hope for that type of disciple coming out from those ignorance very soon. And what is the fate of the third doll made of stone? It will remain unaffected when it would be dropped into water. Water cannot make any change into the stone. So this type of doll is compared with first class disciple. When first class disciple undergoes some crisis in his life, some unfortunate fact, he will remain unchanged. His faith is so deep, unflinching faith, that any material disaster cannot prevent him from rendering devotional service. So this type of doll is compared with first class disciple. The saint told this story to his disciples, and he explained that all of you belong to one category. Some of you are in the third category, some of you second category, some of you are in the first category. And different disciples will be blessed differently according to his category. The blessing will come according to his category, according to his sincerity, dedication, and seriousness in his service attitude. So in this way, the saint told that yes, every disciple is very dear to the Gurudev, but every disciple has not the same tendency, has not the same attitude to the instruction of Gurudev. So when a disciple is very much prompt to carry out the order, he will get more mercy. And the disciple who is very lazy and used to violate the order, he will get less mercy. And this is very much natural. So every disciple will not get same amount of mercy. Next subtopic is the collective nature of devotional service. Author narrated here an example of basketball game. Not only basketball game, maybe it may be football game or cricket game. All those games are actually team game. The result will be dependent on the teamwork. One player keeps on dropping the ball, and it will affect the whole entire team. Like cricket, nowadays everyone is very familiar with cricket. So there are 11 cricketers in a team, and if a single cricketer is very much weak in his cricket skill, then the whole team would suffer for that cricketer. And that team will actually lose the match. There is a cricket team of Gurudev also. Guru and his disciples, thousands of disciples, they are connected with one another. If there is a disciple with a very less interest into the spiritual journey, very casual in his practice, then the casualness of a single devotee may influence the whole team. We have to remind it. The casualness of a single devotee may influence the whole team, the whole ISKCON society. Guru is like a coach. He is coaching his students. He is actually monitoring the spiritual practices. We are the player. Our task is to practice very seriously. And our practice is spiritual practice. Guru is our coach. He is monitoring our sadhana chart. And in this way, we are undergoing spiritual practices every day. And we should be concerned with the spiritual practice of our fellow devotees. If any devotee faced some problems, we should help him, because it is the team game. Every member of the team should practice very intensively so that the result of the whole team will be very good. So when a devotee become very weak in his practice, then what will be our duty? Our duty will be to help him, to stand with him in his side, and provide every support to encourage him for rendering his service nicely. Because Maya is very strong, and Maya is getting even stronger day by day with the progression of age of Kali. And devotional path means declaring war against Maya. Srila Prabhupada used to say, devotional service means open declaration of battleship against Maya. So we have already declared the battleship against Maya, and Maya is very strong, stronger than us. But if we practice unitedly with collaboration of each other, then Maya will not be able to harm any devotee. So every devotee is an important factor for the success of the mission. Next subtopic is deviation and disconnection. If any disciple, he may be in the fourth category. If he deviates the instruction of Gurudev deliberately, ever and anon, then what Guru would do? The author is saying a very remarkable sentence. He is saying, by breaking the regulative principles, actually, the disciple is literally stabbing the Guru in the back. Breaking regulative principles means to stab the Guru in his back and to break the spiritual contract which was made at the time of initiation between the Guru and the disciple. So when we violate the principles, actually we are breaking the contract and we are betraying our Guru. What will be the result? What consequences the Guru would have to suffer for our deviation? This is very important. We should know, all of us should be very careful about it, because Guru would have to suffer tremendous consequences due to the deviation of his disciples. The Guru may fall down for the disciple of his disciple, for the deviation of his disciple. Guru may fall down from his spiritual path, or Guru may become chronically ill, or Guru may even die an early death. Try to imagine. Guru have to face death early death for his disciples' deviation. And in many cases, Guru may have to see some horrible dreams, nightmares, or Guru may have to undergo some psychic attacks, and etc. So, we should be very, very careful about our spiritual practice. Otherwise, Guru would have to suffer the consequences. And this system has been implemented by Krishna, because Guru is the representative of Super Soul, and Guru has implemented this system just to promote us from this world to that world. So the duty of a Guru is so serious duty, heavy duty. It is not very easy duty. For that reason, many sannyasi, they reject the seva of Guruship. It is not very easy seva, very tough seva. Because for every Guru, there may be some hundreds of disciples who are not serious at all, who will belong to third class or fourth class disciple. And Guru would have to suffer for those disciples. For this reason, some Gurudev don't give initiation very quickly. For example, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Guru Maharaj. If one want to take this initiation from him, he would have to wait for at least 10 years. And throughout that 10 years of his practice, there is a very strong counseling system. The counselor will make him purer and purer. The counselor will supervise him very diligently. And when the counselor will think, after several years of supervision, that now that particular devotee has become very pure one, and he will never deviate the principles, and my Gurudev would not have to suffer for any miscreants of that disciple. Then only that disciple may have the required initiation. So it is the authority of Guru. Guru will fix the rules and regulations for giving initiation. Guru has the right, Guru has the power, because this is the responsibility of Guru. That if the disciple is not a very good practitioner, then who will be the responsible? Only Guru will be the responsible. He will have to suffer from illness. He will have to suffer from bad dream, nightmare, and even from death. So this is the authority of Guru, right of Guru to fix the conditions, criteria for initiation. So if any disciple would have to wait for several years, this is good for him or her. Because the more we shall practice, the more we will be ready for becoming a first-class disciple. And I often think of myself that I am not eligible till now for getting initiation. Though it is almost 14 years I am practicing, but I am still not eligible for getting initiation. But somehow I got it just after 1 or 2 years practice. I did not want to get initiation, but I was actually forced to receive initiation. Anyway, my Gurudev mercifully gave me initiation, though I was not eligible. And till now, I don't think myself as eligible. So it is better to wait for several years. It is better for the disciple as well as for the Gurudev. And if a guru has to suffer for the mischief of disciple, then Krishna will be very much disturbed for that disciple. Guru is very dear to Krishna, and that guru is suffering for a disciple. So what will be the attitude of Krishna to that disciple? Will it be a positive attitude or negative attitude? So for every disciple, this should be the criteria to practice more and more, to be fixed in our spiritual principles, and to have a strong faith, very strong faith over Guru and Krishna. Then only we should approach for initiation. Otherwise, this will be detrimental to the disciple and Guru, for both. Like father, like son. Here the author said that a guru is known by the quality of his disciples. It is very true fact. A tree is known by its fruits. If the guru be the tree, then his disciples are the fruits of that tree. So the standards of the disciple is very essential. And the standard of disciple will reflect the standard of the guru. So if we want that glories of our Gurudev be spread out through the world, then we should maintain a very high standard in our conduct, in our posture, gesture, practice, uh, in our humbleness, everywhere. We should maintain a very good standard, because then only the glory of my Gurudev will be spread out. Conversely, if we follow a very average standard or bad standard, then that reflection would also affect the Gurudev. A true disciple should thus resemble the Guru in his devotional qualities and his sincerity of purpose. Actually, we have discussed about the team game. The Guru is the coach of the team, and all the disciples are the team members. And we know that in a team game, the performance of every member will influence into the others. When a disciple is open-hearted, when he is ready to take any instruction, any correction from Gurudev, then Guru can invest a long time for his disciple and empower that disciple. So we should be open-hearted to Gurudev. We should be always ready to accept every instruction of Gurudev. But conversely, if the disciple is close-hearted, then what Gurudev will do with that disciple? His door is closed. He's not ready to accept the kind instruction of Guru. This is a very unfortunate case. And Gurudev will become sorrowful for that disciple. So we should be careful not to close the door of our heart. Our attitude should be, we are very ignorant. There are many lacking in our attitude, in our service. So we should open our door and we should learn many things every day from Gurudev and from senior devotees. Gurudev is not merely a body. Guru means a tattva, philosophy, super soul. Super soul actually is acting through Guru. And if my Guru is not with me physically, then super soul may empower any devotee. And that devotee will act as a Guru to me. So this is the project of the super soul, to rectify us, to purify us, and to send us to the spiritual world. This is the project of Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. And he is planning about how we should be upgraded to the spiritual world. Hridakshay Vishnu is part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna is very much anxious for us. Krishna is missing that particular rasa for every devotee, every person. So Hridakshay Vishnu is planning how we shall be able to go back to Godhead. So Hridakshay Vishnu is empowering many pure devotee as Guru and nothing else. So we have to open our door every time. Help will come through that door. Instruction will come through that door. And if Guru is in another country, in another region, then if necessary, Super Soul will empower any senior devotee for sending us some instructions. And we shall receive that particular instruction from a senior devotee as the instruction of Super Soul. And we have to also remind it that Guru-disciple relationship is bi-directional. Not it is like a single-way traffic. Rather, we shall consider it like two-way traffic, bi-directional. Not only that Guru will just try to encourage us more and more. Guru, without any doubt, will try to encourage us. But if we practice very sincerely, then even Guru will be encouraged, seeing our dedication. That is the nature of a bi-directional relationship. By the lecture of Guru, we would be encouraged, and by the dedication and sincerity of us, Guru would be encouraged. In this way, the whole team will be encouraged. The whole ISKCON society will be encouraged. So this is the main concept of the chapter, progressive discipleship. We have discussed about the 4 types of category. We have discussed the analogy also with 3 dolls. And we have concluded that this is our prime duty to always open our heart so that some instructions may come in and would be benefited by those instructions. So just taking initiation is not our sole ambition. We shall get initiation today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But before initiation, we have to prepare ourselves very carefully. Otherwise, we shall get initiation and we shall become just a fourth class disciple. Then what is the use of it? We should not be a burden to the Gurudev. Then we may not get any mercy from Super Soul. We shall try to be at least second class disciple. That is to abide by every instruction of Gurudev. At least second category. Then Guru will empower us. We have discussed the example of the disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada has thousands of disciples. They have carried out the order of Prabhupada, and Prabhupada empowered them. And for their service, now ISKCON is practically present in every town and village of the world. May it be the Prime Minister of India, may it be the President of America, may it be the Prime Minister of England, they all are aware about ISKCON and they respect ISKCON very much. How? For the preaching work, for the exemplary character of the disciple of Srila Prabhupada. So even Srila Prabhupada is very much glorified for his disciples. And his disciples are glorified for Srila Prabhupada. In that way, there is a bi-directional relationship. So we should follow those devotees of Srila Prabhupada. Okay. So the chapter is over and the course is over. If you have any query, then you may raise your hand. For the next class, we shall discuss about Srimad Bhagavatam, fourth canto. Konokkanti Prabhu, please unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
So, Prabhuji, we need to be Krishna conscious as well as Guru conscious. So, is there any conflict or these two are complementary? And then how much to be Krishna conscious and how much to be Guru conscious?
We should be Krishna conscious through Guru consciousness. Okay, not directly.
Okay.
No direct approach to Krishna. It is not allowed. Krishna will be very happy when we should try to be Krishna conscious through Gurudev.
Okay.
Okay. And actually, the importance of Guru is even more than Krishna.
Okay.
Krishna is here inactive. The Guru is active. And Krishna is acting through Guru. Krishna sends some ignorant souls to Guru. The function of Guru is to teach them, to rectify them, to purify them, and to return the purified soul to Krishna. That's all. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Prayasi Mataji, please unmute.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. Prabhuji, in while answering one of my questions, you told that if Krishna wants a disciple is given gets a chance to get initiation from a Gurudev. So if a soul is not properly trained, then why does Krishna send that type of soul to a Gurudev to get initiation?
Actually, Krishna sent us to Gurudev for getting education first. Okay, for getting training, not initiation so quickly. So we should first study the Shastra, the duty of disciple, the standard of purity the disciple must acquire before initiation. We should study all these, and when we should consider ourselves to be up to that standard, and when our counselor also consider ourselves to be up to that standard, then only we should seek for the initiation. So Krishna has said that Krishna has made the arrangement for proper training. So we should first listen to Gurudev very carefully, and we should practice very sincerely, so that we should be prepared for initiation. We may take several years for our preparation. That does not matter. But the standard does matter. Okay. Yes.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, also that that Gurudev, we must, as you told, that we need to understand what our Gurudev is thinking. So Prabhuji, the order given by Gurudev for all his disciples, those who are living in home, is always the same. Then why do we need to understand his heart?
Yes. Gurudev's instruction is same, but we should understand the mood of the Gurudev. Okay. Gurudev will not say everything by his words, but Gurudev would say many things by his conduct, by his reactions, and etc. So we have to follow the reactions of Gurudev, and we have to understand about the mood of the Gurudev. There are multi-guru system in ISKCON, and mood of the Gurudev is not same for every case. Okay. We can say some examples. One Gurudev may have the mood of doing kirtan much more. One Guru may have the mood to distribute books much more. So all Guru have the priority. There are very variety there in our service. So shall we focus on book distribution most, or kirtan, or preaching, or DT worship? That will depend on the desire of the Gurudev. Likewise, His Holiness Loknath Swami Guru Maharaj. Why he is so famous? For his kirtan. Okay. In this way, every Gurudev has different mood. His disciples should follow the mood of the Gurudev. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, another question that is, like, as you told that the doll made of stone is not going to get affected, but if stone stays in contact with water for a long period of time, sometimes it gets denuded. So that means pure devotees will also get denuded. That thing I could not understand.
Actually, that is an analogy, not a true fact. Analogy is given just for understanding the fact. So don't need to go deeper about the subject. It was just an analogy. We have to understand with that analogy what are the kinds of three types of devotees. So the wonderful book, Spiritual Connection, we have completed the book, and we are sure that every disciple should read that book. And before initiation, because without reading this book, without having the proper philosophy, if we get initiated, then we may perform several mistakes. So this book is so wonderfully written that if a disciple very carefully study this book, the many secrets of the spiritual relationship, then after initiation, he might not perform any mistakes, and his spiritual progress will be very smooth, and he will be uplifted to the spiritual world very easily. So I think this book is very precious book. And as we are giving this class in English version, so the number of students are very small. And I was actually thinking about that. So I may give the class in Bengali version also later about this book, so that all other disciples may conscious about their prime duty, about the secret of the relationship. Okay. So if Krishna wants, if time permits, then I may give several Bengali class on that book. Okay. So we shall meet at the next class about Bhagavatam, the character of King Ben. Okay. So Panchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanang Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंदो की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंद।